All right, so it's the end of October, and somebody asked me the other day how to get a job as a designer in UI UX. So I thought I'd make a short little video, maybe explain my thoughts on it, maybe help somebody, uh, try to see what this long form YouTube content thing is all about. I tried to live stream it today, but apparently you need to request access and you only get or don't get access in 24 hours, so here we are. It's going to be a pre-recorded video, but that's okay. So anyway, who am I? My name is Seven. I'm a UI UX designer. I've been doing this for about 13 years professionally, and even more so before then. The time I got into UI UX was right around the time the iPhone came out and the first Apple App Store came out in like 2009 was the App Store, and the iPhone was 2007 when I was in college. And so a lot of people asked me to design interfaces for mobile games because I was going to an art college for video game design, and I was doing concept art and illustration. And that's where I kind of discovered that it's a growing area and there's lots of opportunity in the mobile industry and in UI UX software design in general. And so I kind of started to pursue that as my passion. And even I had a hard time getting my first job. So a lot of what I did was firstly join little teams in my college, at my college's game club, the game development studio they were running, as well as internships externally with teams that I found through friends and colleagues and classmates, such as CWS Software, which was doing like a dating simulator, and Yobanja Games, which was doing Tap Party, where you tap presents floating around on an iPad, and later a very successful game called Blast Monkeys. And during that whole process, I was gaining skills, and I was learning, and I was screwing up, and I was making a mess of everything. But I really got put in a lot of interesting predicaments where I had to solve some really unique challenges. For example, that game Tap Party was an omnidirectional iPad game, and so me working as a freelancer for a client, they wanted a game that could be put down on the table and be played omnidirectionally, which was a really unique challenge. So the interface had to work from any direction, and the thing that I ended up with is doing two menus that were like opposite of each other at 45-degree angles. So no matter which way you looked at it on a table, it would work. Anyway, that's beside the point. So how do you find a job when you don't have any experience? And should you go to college to find said job? And the answer is most likely this day and age, I would not recommend going to an art college. The whole point of a college is more to learn how to work. It's to learn how to work with others, how to have a great work ethic, and how to not give up easily. So for that, it's great. But you can do that in any number of other ways. Like I worked with a friend of mine to help build his house. We rebuilt a house from 1901 building codes in San Jose to 2014 building codes, and we had to work extremely hard every day for construction and doing almost everything on our own, extremely tight deadlines. And so when you come out of a project like that and you're successful, you can see that you could do practically anything else. And office work is, by comparison, a piece of cake to building a whole house, rebuilding a whole house. In terms of work ethic, the other thing is obviously, you surround yourself with people that are hardworking. And by doing that, some of their work ethic will naturally rub off on you. So I did that, and that helped. I picked friends specifically by the skills I wanted to learn, and that paid off immensely. In terms of how do you find work, you really can freelance, and with the internet, connect with a number of people, and start doing projects for free or paid projects. And those will get you a lot farther than any of these art colleges that propose to teach you how to do UI UX. Because not only will you be working on real projects that you can talk about at interviews and walk people through your successes and failures in an actual marketplace, but you'll be generating actual worthwhile portfolio work that's not hypothetical. What I mean by that is, when I freelanced, like when I lived in Los Angeles for 2 years, and again, I worked with clients, I was still really new and I was making a lot of mistakes. I had real work with real mistakes. And I could talk at interviews about why those mistakes were mistakes, or why my clients thought my work was successful, or what the experience was like working with clients from all over the world, from California to Germany to Japan, and what the differences are between those, and communication barriers, things like that. And that was much, much more useful than even the money that I was getting from my work. So if you want to do that, the best freelancing portal I know of is called UpWork. I think it also actually ate another freelancing portal, and so it's probably one of the best ones. So you can go on there and say, you have next to no experience, but you're willing to work for cheap, and just watch the work requests roll in. You can also go on social media, just find any communities and ask them about work that you could do for them as a new designer. So like Reddit, or just communities on Facebook, or if you're into video games, you can try doing modding through communities like in Steam, or some of the mod websites for games, for like Skyrim or Morrowind, my favorites. Even contributing to mods for something like Half-Life or Counter-Strike. The sky's the limit, whatever you want to design. The point being is real world scenarios, especially work where you get paid, is much more valuable and you learn much more rapidly. And instead of having to pay someone an arm and a leg, you get paid as well, which is nice. So that's what I would do. That's where I would start. And then as you get the ball rolling, you will probably begin generating some work. So I recommend you save that work, sign contracts if you're going to be freelancing, where you do get the permission to show off your work. Obviously, don't break any NDAs that you sign. But when it's time to show off your work, the best website to do so is Dribbble. It's the #1 portal for the best designers in the world to show off their UI, UX skills, and illustration and graphic design, 3D, stuff like that. So you go on there, create an account. You no longer need to be invited as of 2023. I don't know when they dropped that requirement. But you basically go on, you create an account. As soon as your clients allow you to, start posting actual work of what you actually worked on. Now the brilliant thing about Dribbble is not only that you can get feedback and motivation and encouragement on the work you're doing, but when you are posting your work there, you will also be getting likes and comments and views. So if you pay for Dribbble Pro, which I think is still relatively inexpensive, I think it's $20 a year or something. I might be getting the number wrong, but basically when you are posting on there, you're collecting data on which of your portfolio items people are liking and not liking. So I post a lot of stuff on there. Some of it is terrible, some of it is okay, some of it I'm asking for feedback. And I'm really looking for which pieces the audience is responding to. And so unlike any other portfolio strategy that you could take, that many seasoned, experienced, veteran designers take, you can put your work up on Dribbble, pay and get access to the analytics, look and see which work is performing best, and then put in a portfolio page called Dribbble Playbook, and then use that data to select the best portfolio pieces to go into it. Because then, instead of guessing what things will make your portfolio look great, you're actually designing your own portfolio with data and putting that work into your portfolio, right? So that would be my recommendation. The other thing is like a lot of people really fetishize design, especially UI design and graphic design, but at the end of the day, most people really don't care. And it breaks a lot of designers' hearts to hear that, but it's true. So like when people are looking at your portfolio, they don't really care about how it looks, even if your job is to make it look good. They care about the stuff in your portfolio, and they care about getting into your portfolio and through it quickly, especially because a lot of the time the people who are going to be reviewing it when you're getting your foot in the door are recruiters, not actually designers either, right? So a standardized portfolio website like what's provided by Dribbble is perfectly fine. And the fact that you can use analytics from your freelancing work and free projects that you collaborate on to figure out which of those things you should actually be showing in a limited set of like 10, 15 pieces is amazing. Now, when you show it off, also make one of your portfolio pieces on Dribbble a resume, and then attach the designed resume PDF to that Dribbble shot, and then put that Dribbble shot into your Dribbble portfolio website. This way, not only do you have all of your stuff in there, including all of your links to your social, to your LinkedIn, also make sure to have a LinkedIn, and then you have your actual resume right there available for download directly from that portfolio website, all in one setup. And if you're interested, I've also uploaded the template for the resume I've used for myself that works. So you're welcome to download that and use that for your means and customize it however you want. That's all easy. So yeah, that's basically what I would do. And let's briefly cover LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an amazing website for finding work, and I've used it to find many jobs throughout my career. To give you a brief overview, like I started in Los Angeles, professionally freelancing. Then I went on LinkedIn and found my first job at SoundHound. So I was there for 2 years, basically working on the SoundHound designs for the music recognition app. I then worked for Itson, I think through LinkedIn. I then worked for a company through AngelList, which is another alternative to LinkedIn, but it's more for VC companies. And yeah, then after my 3 years at Lyft, I ended up working at OneSignal, which is an incredible company doing notifications for mobile apps. It's kind of like Stripe, but for notifications. So I did that for a year during the pandemic. Found them through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is just an incredible resource for finding work. And what you want to do is make sure that you have a LinkedIn profile in good standing, and that profile is linked to your Dribbble and your Dribbble portfolio and your Dribbble resume, and everything is interconnected. You know. So if you do this, essentially my recommendation is like consider maybe not going to art college and wasting 2 to 4 years there. Now, if you want a recommendation for a college to go to, I went to Cogswell College, which is a small college in the Silicon Valley, and it's now rebranded itself as University of Silicon Valley, I believe. So if you do go to a college, at least go to an accredited art college, because there's a lot of scammy art colleges that also, on top of the fact that you probably should not go to them in the first place for UI UX, they also scam you out of money, unlike my college, which at least gives you bare bones like philosophy, ethics, mathematics, history, yada yada yada. So even within art colleges, that are better and worse art colleges, so be picky and highly selective. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know really what I'm doing with this YouTube channel. It's kind of all over the place right now, as you can see. A lot of what I'm doing is just trying to reach different social media channels with different types of things that I'm making every day. A lot of it is bicycle things. Some stuff like this video is not bicycle things. So as I'm kind of figuring out the format for this YouTube channel, it's going to be maybe more narrowed down, but because I'm a designer and this is my channel, it will probably be to some extent about design. So if you like this video, leave me a comment, leave me your questions. I would love to answer them. Also, probably the main reason I'm making content on YouTube is I run a bicycle app called Sprocket, which is a bicycle marketplace for buying and selling your bikes. It's already live on iOS, Android, web, Amazon App Store, Samsung Store. It's also available for Chrome OS devices and Mac OS devices. So definitely check it out, give it a look, give it a like, and please leave it a rating and a review, especially on our iOS app, where we really badly need more reviews. All right, thank you so much. I hope to do more of these. Hopefully the response is positive, and hopefully people find this useful. All right, have a good rest of your weekend.